Hey y'all, so this is my latest addition to the Power of series. This is the Power of Bravery. This is a very important one because, namely, the escape of Tarkov is absolutely terrifying. Like, the entire time is just a brutal and terrifying experience, and I'm not gonna lie, for my first couple wipes, I was just like absolutely stressed out all the time. Like completely all the time, totally stressed out. And and what it is like what I learned to do was survive initially, because that was like my first goal is just like, okay, I want to stop dying all the time, right? So then I learned to survive, and I was very stressed out, right? And what basically what I decided was I kept getting into situations where I would do something foolish because I was like so worked up and stressed, right? And then like I just something in my head was just like I just like told myself, I was like, demand bravery of yourself at all times, right? And that's what I did. I was just like, you know what, like at all times, like sure shit's scary, but like, you know what, fear is just not a useful thing, and it's not necessary, right? And if you demand bravery of yourself, then it's a conscious decision to not let fear cloud your judgment and interfere with your ultimate goal, which is to survive, right? And so the what the power of bravery did, and it's so, sorry, this whole thing is just like looking at my overall screen. Um, but it's fine if you listen to this far. I figure you'll fucking look at my screen, right? It doesn't matter. I guess I have like it's like the fourth day rate. I have like a pretty good KD and whatnot. Let's go to PMC kills. 30 PMC kills. 39 rates. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, so where I was going with that was, at first, everything was stressful. I just learned to survive, right? And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna demand bravery of myself at all times. And then I just started like just being, and mainly a big part of it was just like I started running budget gear, and so I wasn't so concerned about losing my gear. And I was watching Passively, and he said something really smart that like really stuck with me, and it was just like, if your gear is so valuable that it stresses you out to use it, then just immediately sell it, or just like equip it and just run it down on factory and not give a flying fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? And how I learned to look at it was like that M4 that I was like, oh man, it's the budget. It's like the not budget, but like the super kitted, modded, fully modded M4 that's like top of the line, and it just like sat on my inventory for like 2 months, and I was like, that fucking M4 though, and if I just decided to vendor that M4, it could have bought me like 2 budget guns that I like would run every raid, right? So if I just sold that gun immediately instead of just holding on to it, then I could get my budget gear, and then whenever I'm in raid, I'm not so worried about dying, right? So that's a part of it. And it's, sorry, that was a really long one. But well, we'll see if I keep this video. But like, really what it comes down to is like, you're in a stressful situation. It's fucking scary as shit. Tarkov is, in general, is a terrifying place, right? And you either make a conscious decision, whether you are aware of it or not, to demand bravery of yourself, or to not demand bravery of yourself, right? And at some point, you really do, and whether you, and if you don't know that you do, then you probably haven't gone out of your way to make a conscious decision to demand bravery of yourself, because you know what, you'll be in these scary situations, and you know what, it's always terrifying, but if you're just brave about it, if you choose to be brave and try to like conquer and overcome your circumstances, then your chances of survival actually increase, right? So logically, that's what you want to do. you know. And so once you understand that and you like put that in your DNA and you're just like, I'm not gonna freak out. Instead, I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna think about this shit and I'm gonna try to overcome. Right? See, that's the power of bravery, and the power of bravery changes everything. It changes everything, right? And so at first, you know, I was just trying to survive, right? And I was super stressed out, and then I decided I was going to be brave, right? And so then I started taking on all these fights, and that's whenever I started learning, and that's whenever I learned that you have to be brave and you have to be smart, right? And see, I could just run over a lot of inexperienced players because I'm super brave, and they don't necessarily know to demand bravery of themselves, so they'll be like super timid, hiding in their like thing, and I'll rush them, and if they were really good, they would have just shot me, but they're not, and I just like, I'm brave, I just ran in there and shot them, right? I got tons of clips of that, right? Tons of them. That's the power of bravery right there, and you know, if they are really skilled, they'll just wreck you, and if they're not, then you'll just run them over at some point, right? And there's like this whole meta about it that I'm gonna make a video on as well. But yeah, it's the power of bravery. I'll probably, I don't know if I'm gonna put this one out. I'll probably like try to condense it because it's pretty long-winded, but it's a super important topic, and yeah, I'm sure it'll help y'all a lot for sure. Like, especially for a newer player, that's one of the biggest things I would advise a new player to do. Like, one of like, if there was anything that they could just like make their motto, is to demand bravery of themselves at all times, because like the entire time is just terrifying. It's just like one terrifying experience after another, right? It's just like, that's the whole game. It's the whole fucking game, right? And if you don't demand bravery of yourself, it's gonna fuck with you so much, right? But if every time you're in a stressful situation, you're like, fuck that shit, I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna fucking just run at them like a madman and fuck shit up, you know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, see, well, I guess at some point it's adrenal, right? It's like fight or flight. So first you have to choose to not run away. You have to choose to fight, right? And then you fight, and then you learn that all these people are really good at fighting, and they do all these little things that beat you. And then you realize, oh yeah, I have to be brave enough to fight them, and then be smart enough to beat them, right? And that's how you win consistently. And that's generally speaking how you get better. And really, the only way to do it is through the power of improvement, but also like the power of bravery. Because without bravery, you just simply can't do it. At some point, you literally have to be brave. That's what it is. But then again, hey, what do I know? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, if I do end up putting this out, I appreciate you for checking out my content. If you will, to subscribe, that'd help a lot right now. Maybe like leave a comment, like all that good stuff, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.